Hi class, in lesson 3.2 you will be learning about fractional representations. Learning targets for today: you will create different fractional representations using pattern blocks. You will write fractional statements for different representations given the whole, and you will determine fractional representations given the whole and given parts of the whole. Let's take a look at problem 1 on page 114. Answer number 1 with your group members. The first shape in the table is a trapezoid. The fractional part of the whole is 1/2, and the number of fractional parts to make a whole is 2. The second shape in the table is a rhombus. The fractional part of the whole is 1/3, and the number of fractional parts to make a whole is 3. And the third shape is a triangle. The fractional part of the whole is 1/6, and the number of fractional parts to make a whole is 6. At the top of page 115, you can place different pattern blocks on top of the yellow hexagon to create another representation for the whole. For example, you can create the design shown. As you saw from the table you completed, a red trapezoid covers 1/2 of the hexagon, and a green triangle covers 1/6 of the trapezoid. So in this example, the red trapezoid covers 1/2 of the hexagon, and 3 triangles cover 1/2 of the hexagon. The fraction sentence for this representation would be 1 whole is equal to 1/2 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. Answer number 2 with your group members. When you follow the bullet point steps, you will record your designs on the next 2 pages, and there should be seven different representations for the yellow hexagon that you should be able to create. Here are 4 of the different representations of the hexagon that you could have made in no particular order. Here are 2 more representations of the hexagon that you could have created. And here is the final representation of the hexagon that you could have created. Let's take a look at problem 2 on page 118. Recall the title of this lesson. You mean 3 can be 1? You will now determine the parts of a whole when the whole is more than 1 hexagon. Answer number 1, letters A through D with your group members, and keep in mind these 3 hexagons represent the whole. So are the new figures given smaller or larger than the whole? That can help you with what you need to do for number 1, letters A through D. For number 1, letter A, there are 3 hexagons in the whole. Therefore, 1 hexagon would represent 1/3 of the whole. For number 1, letter B, 6 trapezoids would cover the whole. Therefore, 1 trapezoid would represent 1/6 of the whole. For number 1, letter C, 9 rhombi would cover the whole. Therefore, 1 rhombus would represent 1/9 of the whole. For number 1, letter D, 18 triangles would cover the whole, so 1 triangle would represent 1/18 of the whole. Turn to page 120, answer number 2 with your group members, letters A through F. For number 2, letter A, if a trapezoid is equal to 1, then a hexagon will be equal to 2, a triangle equal to 1/3, and a rhombus equal to 2/3. For number 2, letter B, if a rhombus is equal to 1 whole, then a hexagon would be equal to 3, a triangle equal to 1/2, and a trapezoid equal to 1/2. Number 2, letter C, if a triangle is equal to 1 whole, then a hexagon is equal to 6, a rhombus equal to 2, and a trapezoid equal to 3. Number 2, letter D, if a hexagon and a triangle are equal to 1, then a hexagon would be equal to 6/7, a triangle 1/7, and a trapezoid 3/7. Number 2, letter E, if two triangles are equal to one whole, then a hexagon would be equal to 3, a triangle equal to 1/2, and a trapezoid equal to 1/2. Number 2, letter F, if a trapezoid and rhombus is equal to one whole, then a hexagon would be equal to 1 1/5, a triangle equal to 1/5, and a trapezoid equal to 3/5. Turn to page 123. Use pattern blocks to answer number 3, letters A through E with your group members. Number 3, letter A, here is an example of what your sketch could look like for the description given. Number 3, letter B, here is an example of what your sketch could look like for the description given. Number 3, letter C, here is an example of what your sketch could look like for the description given. Number 3, letter D, here is an example of what your sketch could look like for the description given. Number 3, letter E, here is an example of what your sketch could look like for the description given. That is going to end the lesson 3.2 on fractional representations. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.